Hey guys, and welcome to another Armored Warfare video. It's tank review time again, and today we're taking a look at the Tier 7 main battle tank, the Merkava 2B. This tank has been requested quite a few times because it's an interesting one to review and also an interesting one to drive. Why? Okay, we're gonna see that. First of all, we're gonna take a look on it in the garage, and then we're gonna directly skip into a battle where we can see how that thing goes on the battlefield. Okay, first of all, it did existed in real life, and it was used. It is an Israeli tank. The entire Merkava branches. I think we're on Merkava Mark 4 at the moment. I'm not sure. Could be Mark 3. I'm a little bit confused about that one. I saw Merkava 1, Mark 1 actually in real life in a tank museum in Germany. But today it's tank review time of this beautiful machine, the Merkava 2B. And okay, it looks beautiful. Yeah, could be. It's quite a nice tank, and it's quite a unique tank, at least in the moment, because there are no other Merkavas, and I think that is selling point number 1. Okay, let's take a look at the stats first of all, before we jump in game. And the stats are kind of disappointing. I mean, we have got a tank, which is next to the M1 Abrams, the only tank in Tier 7, the only main battle tank in Tier 7 that's using a 105mm rifled gun, like this tank is. I sadly don't own the M1 Abrams, so I can't show that one to you. But I've got the XM1, and I think it's got the same gun. Not entirely sure. But so the Merkava's damage is lower than average. We've got a DPM of 3600, which has been buffed. It's been lower at the beginning of when this tank was released. And we've got an AP damage of 389 damage points, which is using AP FSDS ammunition, obviously. On heat we can get this up to 487, with a penetration of 408mm, which is not that high, and a penetration of 359. Okay, actually that's all right. It's been buffed also. So, but it's got to compete against tanks like the Challenger, and the Challenger, for example, has got much better penetration of more than nearly 20mm, and it's got also more damage. But alright, the reload is a little bit slower, so we've got on a lower DPM, but that's just not even 200 points, so that's very slight difference. The reload time on the Merkava, however, is pretty good, with 6.47 seconds. Of course, retrofits, we've got the gyroscopic stabilizer Mark 1 and thermal sleeves Mark 2. That's quickening it up a little bit, but you know what I mean. Those aren't so... those are affordable in Tier 7, so you can probably use them. And it's a premium tank, so you'll make money with it. But that's a different story, and we'll come to that on the end another time. What's also special about the Merkava? Like we said, 3600 damage DPM. Yeah, that's okay. Not great, but okay. We've got our Tier 7... I actually don't know how much that thing does. 3,400 without retrofits, and with a... I think I've never driven that one. So, you see. But alright, it's not about other tanks, it's about the Merc. And its mobility is okay. It's not very fast, but it's okay. So we can see it I can see it in-game, or you can see it in-game much better when I show it to you. The acceleration is alright for a main battle tank, and it's certainly better than the Challenger. But okay, it's the Challenger. Everything is faster than the Challenger. So, yeah, it's alright. Could be faster, but it's okay. The traverse speed of the hull actually is pretty good. But we can see that in game too. Its camouflage rating, it's a fucking main battle tank. And it's actually huge. I mean, compare it to this one. Much slower. Much slower. Much smaller. It's about the size that the XM1 has. And that's about the size that the Challenger 2 ATDU has. I mean, of course, it's a little bit bigger, but I think you see where I'm going. The targeting abilities of this tank actually are pretty good, because the tank is the turret, not the tank. The turret is in the rear of the tank, or the hull. So you've got a pretty good gun depression to the front with 7 degrees. That's all right, but to the back it's also 7 degrees. You shouldn't show the back to an enemy. That should be common knowledge. But if you do, you can at least get your gun down. Turret traverse 34 degrees is pretty good. Aim time with 1.7 seconds. Yes, 1. That's a 1. Is amazingly fast, and it needs this. Seriously needs this. So you can use it as firing on the move, by the way. If you're doing that the circle isn't that big, so you can probably hit a few tanks. Not like other tanks in here, Mr. T14 Armata. Oh my god, it's so horrible. The accuracy on the move is so horrible on this tank. But alright, it needs some kind of downsides. So still, there is one important point about this tank that makes or breaks the tank. And in this case, it breaks the tank. That's his armor. First of all, the numbers do look good. With 280 millimeters and 452. 552, 542. Oh my god! I'm just crap. I'm sorry. Idiot Morin, stupid idiot Morin. Okay. So the turret actually, you see, 280 isn't that much, but you see how that thing is sloped. I think the only position where we've got the exact 280 is like directly here on the front. Everything else is sloped and much higher. So the turret is actually pretty bounceable, if that's an English word. But the hull with 542 millimeters actually looks good too. I mean, don't look at the sides. This is no. Oh my god! Just don't even do this because they can penetrate your sides. So compare it to the Challenger. It's pretty similar, at least the hull. But there is one very important thing. It's just similar against armor-piercing ammunition. Means we've got composite armor, which gives it a factor of 2.7 a multiplier against shape charge ammunition, which means heat ammunition. The Merkava is made out of steel, which doesn't give any modifiers whatsoever. That is really horrible for you, because even tier 7 tanks can penetrate you with their heat ammunition and do full damage. Not so bad in PvP, but the second you hit that PvP button and meet somebody who knows what they're doing, you've got a pretty big problem, my friend. And this is the thing why this tank is regarded as not that good, or just not suitable in tier 7. Put the exact same tank, take a little bit of reload of it, and put it in tier 6, and it would be perfect. Just put the DPM just like 200 or to 300 points lower, and it would be perfect in tier 6. But alright, I think that won't happen, and that's probably also good, because you don't want to have an overpowered premium tank, because then anybody could say, oh my god, you can just buy perfect tanks for your real money, that's pay to win, and that's not what it is. It's actually not one of the good tanks. If you want to have a good and reliable tank, go for the Challenger line. Just saying. Regardless, that does not mean that the Merkava sucks. Because in some way, and I don't know which way, but in some way, it's an amazing tank. At least I had very much fun with it. And yes, there are those seconds where you wish, oh my god, why do I have 55 millimeters of side armor and there is a Terminator on my side that's just chewing me up? Or, oh my god, why did this VFM Mark V just penetrated my front with his HE shell, with his heat shells, and did 500 damage or something? Those are seconds where you just really, where you would wish you would sit in one of these. But you sadly aren't. Actually, the first few days the tank got released, it had a very big weak spot here, which has been, it's still, I think it's still not so good armored than the upper glaciers is, but it's better armored. It got a little buff. Like I said, same as the reload and the penetration, got a little buff. Yes, what else? I think I haven't even sprayed mine. I'm gonna do that now. Sorry for that one. Where do I get those from? That's actually pretty cool. I'm gonna go with that one, just because I'm from northern Germany and those are northern German flags. And this one there is as always, we're gonna go and owned and put my beta warrior on it. Alright, so but we need camo. I'm sorry that I do this now, but some things are very important to me. This would look good. I'm just like, no, that's fine. And this one, yeah. Sorry, had to be. Much nicer. Commander-wise, I'm using Freya at the moment. Actually, because I think that she's probably the best main battle tank commander out there, and I haven't had her that long. That was pretty rubbish, actually. I finished the Acacia, I did all of it, so the artillery, I think it's the artillery where you get her, I'm not sure. But the tank where you get her. I've had it finished for ages, and I just didn't research her. Don't ask me why. But it's the serious stats that are amazing. At this moment, I was leveling Juan Carlos, who was also a fitting commander for this tank. I would choose between one of those two. But I got with Freya at the end, and I think that's the right decision. But whatever, do what you like. Armor. Why do I always say armor? Ammunition-wise, 35 AP. 15 heat. I don't like HE, they're pretty useless. In my opinion, at least. So, why not? And retrofits, like I said, I would go with a gyroscopic stabilizer just to give it a little bit better aim time. Well, actually, the aim time it doesn't need, but the rate of fire is pretty sweet, and more aim time is always better. Thermal sleeve is nearly a must-have, because you want to have it for your better DPM, because you really need to catch up a little bit. You could use a retrofit that does damage instead of rate of fire. Would work the same way. And because of that low armor, and it's... Okay, the hit points are alright. But because of that low armor, I wanted to have more hit points, so I used Reinforced Hull Mark II, which gives you nearly 10% more hull hit points. Which is quite a nice thing if you think about this tank being so vulnerable to any kind of shots. Also, consumables you should always go, I think it's up to 5 or something, Magic Max, how I call it. On this time, I'm gonna refer to another streamer. You should watch her on Twitch if you want to, and she's got a YouTube channel. I'm gonna link it in the description. Her name is Kilian, and I got this name Magic Max from her. Sorry for using that one, and I actually enjoyed your streams, so why don't you just check her out? Links in the description. And another thing I nearly forgot to tell you. Thank you again very much to my.com who gave me the key to testing Merkava 2B. I appreciate that. That was actually a tank I wanted to buy anyway. So thanks very much, and I think we just should watch the replay I've just done, because I play just really in front of this game. And we're gonna show it. It's Operation Banshee. Let's click at play. And there is a little problem in this battle that I saw coming. Oh, actually I didn't saw coming at the beginning, but I recognized when we were half in the battle. And that problem is just that I am the only main battle tank. And if you're the only main battle tank, you're supposed to take damage. And if you haven't got the greatest armor in-game, I'm actually going to turn the game a little bit louder, because I normally turn the volume a little bit lower if I'm playing for myself. Alright. There is this one problem, which just... where's the... Oh, there. Because, so you need to take damage for the team. But if you've gotten... Oh, I've got to sit in a different way, sorry. But if you haven't got the greatest armor, you probably have a problem with that. But... let me say, somehow it worked.
Lions of have taken an oil refinery.
Actually, it's kind of loud, isn't it?
We have to break their hold on this and teach them a harsh lesson. Black Company, retake the oil refinery from the Lions.
I'm sorry. So, you see, the acceleration of the tank isn't that bad. It's also not great, but it's also not that bad. Oh, Terminator, how I hate you. But if it shows me its sight, I can... Oh, actually, there's a Thunderbolt. No, the Terminator. So, this is actually a very, very good position of the tank, because we are hull down and they can just shoot in our turret, or mostly on our turret. But you also see me mistake doing in the next 30 seconds, which gives this Thunderbolt a nice amount of damage on myself, which is now no longer spotted because it's too far away from my vision range. This is number 1, and I should have drove back now, but I didn't. I thought like, yeah, he's gonna bounce, and... let's say that way, no, he is not. And now I just realized I should pop back. So if you can get this tank hull down and just show its upper glacis, or maybe even just its turret, it's really a fortress, and it's probably very hard to get this guy. And this is already one of the seconds where I thought I would throw the entire game, because I didn't do damage with like 3 shots in a row or something. Because I'm just crap. But alright, there was a Terminator 2, oh, how I hate those things. I mean, everybody who's driven a tank tier 4, what the fuck, fear is German, tier 4 or upwards, has already encountered one of the Terminators, the BMP T-72 Terminator, the BMP T-72 Terminator 2, or the Ramkar 99. They are a real pain in the ass to fight, because, especially in low tier, they've got high explosive reactive armor, and your most damage is relied on heat ammunition. And if you can't penetrate their armor, you pretty much have a problem, you know? But alright, in higher tiers they are still annoying, but if you've reached tier 8, you can punch through their front. I don't know which chassis this is, a T80 chassis or a T90 chassis, but... Oh, it's got armor. Yeah, trying to shoot below this railways, but I certainly couldn't. Another time, some kind of free Abrams for me. And there is actually a damaging shot. Like you see, we're rolling on some like 360, 370 if we're doing good damage rolls, and I can't get my gun down. And I still managed to bounce. But like I said, that's just because I'm crap and not because the tank is crap. But you see, I'm not going like ultimately offensive because I would be doomed if I do so. But there are tanks, especially the LIV 600, who's got a great damage per minute rating and can really help me winning this game. And he's actually the one that got, I think, number 1 in experience at the end. I got number 2. And I did a little bit over 10,000 damage. And that's actually over 12,000, I think. I don't know. So you see, your frontal armor is alright, but just keep the front towards the enemy. Never ankle it, not even a bit. Because your side is, yeah. Let me say it that way. Your side is about as thin as the armor on the side of a Panzer IV. And it's out of the same material. Ah, that's kind of strange, is it? So that's just horrible. Never point this out at your enemy. But the tank does look good, does it? And some kind of fresh air. A tank that's got the turret on the back of its hull is actually... Is there another main battle tank that's got the same stipulation?
Yes, good.
I don't think so.
Will counterattack,
Oh,
but you
flashing
must
lights. Capturing the side objective, also important, gives you a little bit more credits at the end. You should always do this if you can, but never throw a game for it. It's better to win the game without side objectives than to lose it with side objectives. So going around the corner as flat as I could, and I'm not turning my tank, and that could be a mistake. No, it isn't, because the VFM just came through my front anyway. Like I said, lower glacis. Try to get a quick shot off, and I see there you can go around this in the corner, but yes, like I said, no good idea. Don't anchor the tank. Why am I doing it? I don't know, because I am crap. There is a Terminator 2, which we can certainly penetrate some way. I hope so. Oh, I'm going for the Abrams anyway. The Abrams is harder to hit for my friends over there because they haven't got the biggest penetration, so I'm trying to give him a little bit of trouble with getting a few shots into him. If you've got the ability to soften up tanks, always choose the tank you can penetrate with the highest armor, because it makes the living for your team a little bit easier, especially when you're in an artillery or a main battle tank. Because in an artillery you can soften up main battle tanks pretty good, because you can hit them from nearly anywhere. And if your team has just got the front of an M1A2, in their faces, they'll probably have problems penetrating him, and you can help them really out. Or you can just do a crit and set him on fire and see how your damage gets up. That's sweet. And do another crit. Yeah, that's really nice. But now I'm getting critically low on damage, and I use my magic max ability to put my life back up. And now I want you just to take a look at the mini-map. How many tanks are there? Yeah. You see? He can penetrate my side. That's kind of bad, but I think he's using HE actually. And I'm really in a bad position now. I've got to get a little bit of space behind me. And about now, I realized that there are tanks behind me. And oh my god, this is fucking loud, is it? I set him on fire also, and I think it even is enough to kill this guy. Yes, it is. Oh, and if he gets around me, I've got a problem, so I've got to burn my repair ability. Because, like you see, he's doing a little bit too much damage to me. And now I just decide, I've got to get out of here before this Stingray has reloaded. And if you see this, the Bagel Panzer, the Begeit Panzer, has just team-killed their Terminator because he was shooting on me. That just kind of ironically, is it? So I take the Terminator out. Good. Like I said, the LIV is doing a pretty good job. I don't even know why the BMP is sitting there, but alright. I've got to get one shot off, and I really have to hurry now. And don't show him anything on my side, because I'm just one shot for him now. And Stingrays are badass tanks. I mean, they've got penetration like hell. I really love about Armored Warfare that you can really hear how damaged your tank is, because now that my tracks are damaged, you can hear this this squeaky voice, or the squeaky noise coming out of my tracks when I drive. It's kind of cool. Really like that. So there are just, I think, a few tanks left, and the game is nearly ended. Yeah, trying to get this. Oh no, I just hit the the truck there. I don't like trucks. The Terminator has given our BMP a little bit of trouble, but since the LAV is there, he's probably gonna take him out. And this is the last tank alive, and we won this mission. And you can see the tank is working in some ways, and in some ways it isn't. So don't buy it if you want to have a really good tier 7 tank, because it isn't. But if you like the tank's design, or if you just like the tank itself, or maybe its history, and you just want to have it and have no problems with the money that it costs, you don't do anything wrong if you buy it. But it's certainly not a tank you should buy if you just want competitively working tanks, because it's definitely not. If you want to have a really good tier 7 main battle tank, go for the Challenger. I mean, the choices you have there is the Leopard 2, which is actually great. I really loved it. I really love playing it. But I'm German, so I think I have to love the German line. Oh, I actually hate you, my friend. That's pretty funny. My dad was a tank gunner, and he drove a Leopard 1 A4, and the Leopard 1 A5 is just horrible in this game because it just has got no armor, and it is slow. And well, it isn't slow, but it's slowish, and both doesn't work. The M1 Abrams is probably also a pretty bad tank, but mostly concerned with his gun. The armor it has is pretty good. What else do we have? The T80, which is just horrendous fun. But it's got some kind of similar weakness. It's got nearly no side armor. It's got a gigantic, well, it's not gigantic, but it's a weak spot. It's lower glacis, but the gun is amazing on this tank. Well, and the Challenger and the Type 92. So, it's available now, I think, for 5,500 gold, which is exactly 21 €99, if I'm not wrong. I think it is. I don't know whatever it is in your currency, but it's gonna be something like 25 bucks in US dollars and something like 19 in pounds. So that's what you have to spend on this machine if you want to have it in your garage. So whatever you want to go with it, or you don't want to go with it, that's your decision. I've told you anything I know about the tank, and you can tell me your opinion about it in the comments below, and maybe we'll see each other on the battlefield sometimes. But since then, I just have to wish you good luck with the Merkava 2B. Like I said, it isn't great, but it also isn't bad. Well, actually, it is more bad than it is great. But I think you know where this is going. And since you've seen a little bit of gameplay, you maybe can think for yourself if you want to have one of these or if you don't want to have. I wanted to have one of these just because it's a Merkava and it's the first one in game. And then I even got one from my.com, which is amazing. Another time, thank you guys. You're really making my Armored Warfare life a little bit easier. And that's the reason why I'm reviewing this tank for you, because it would be a little bit unfair if I just take the code and say, yeah, hey, goodbye. No, so I want to publish the tank a little bit, but I also have to go out with some criticism, and that's what I'm doing here. Alright guys, I hope you have fun with your Merkava or whatever you are driving, and see you all on Battlefield next time if you're playing Armored Warfare as well, and leave your opinions in the comment, and if you liked the video, you know what you have to do. Alright, have a good night, have a good day, and see you next time. Bye bye.